Hey, friends. So, are you looking for help with live streaming technology and leading worship online? You're in the right place. It's been difficult to figure out how to do church in the time of COVID 19, but I've got some info here that I hope will be helpful. So, let's begin. Uh, I'm a priest. One of the first decisions I had to figure out for this was which liturgy to live stream, whether that was going to be morning prayer or Holy Eucharist. Um, you've had to make that decision as well. My congregation went with I made the decision for our congregation to go with morning prayer. And so, what we're doing right now is we are focusing on the presence of Christ in the Word. And I think that's the value of making the decision for morning prayer. The presence of Christ in the bread of the Eucharist, of communion, is also important. And maybe that, along with the familiarity of the Eucharistic liturgy, is why you decided to go with Eucharist without a congregation. Whichever one, I think there are pros and cons to both, and both are definitely valid options. But you don't need me to tell you about that. Let's talk about how to do church online. Just one of the basic things I'll start out with is I'm a fan of Google Suite. I've got Google Drive. I set up this folder for these unusual circumstances that we're in right now, just to kind of start organizing, because I didn't have a folder already for live stream technology. That wasn't something I was really worried about until a couple weeks ago. And now I am. I've had to figure all this out, just like you are doing right now. So I created a Google form to take prayer requests, so that people could come in and they could submit these. And we are going to include a prayer list with our liturgy. I'm sending out a PDF every week that has that week's liturgy, complete with all of the readings and correct prayers inserted. So people will get this midweek. They'll have a chance to print it out on their own, or they can view it on their device to follow along. And they'll be able to do that. And I have the prayer list there at the end with some other announcements as necessary. I would show you the responses, but I'm concerned about confidentiality, so I'm not going to do that. But you can also set it up so it will create a spreadsheet that it will log all those responses as well. And it'll put a date stamp on those. So I made a policy that we're going to include whatever you submit, we're going to include it for 3 weeks, and then we'll remove it so that the list doesn't get full of things that are no longer timely or no longer relevant. If we're praying for someone because they had a knee replacement surgery, and then we forget why that person is on the list, or which Mary that is, we could be a year later and Mary's new knee is working fantastically. She doesn't really need our prayers anymore, but we don't know if we're supposed to take her off the list or not because we can't remember. So date stamping those entries is a way to help with that, to keep that list short and timely and relevant. What else do I have in here? There's some considerations on which platform to use. Somebody on the Episcopal Communicators group on Facebook had some great thoughts on different platforms to use. There are a lot of things to think about, a lot of reasons to go with Twitch, which is what I'm going to be showing you in a moment. But ultimately, remember that something is better than nothing, and whatever way you can use to be connected is better than the fanciest thing if you're not well connected. So just getting everybody on there, getting everybody together. If you didn't have the ability to do a video like I'm doing right now, and if all you could do was spend all Sunday morning calling your entire congregation one by one, Jesus would still be known. And you might be exhausted, but Jesus would still be known. So use what you got. And if you don't feel comfortable with something, don't rely on it. I'm trying some new things, and I'm getting comfortable with them, and I'm going to take a risk, and I'm hoping that this will be helpful for you as well. So There are different things you can use. The feedback I got was that a Zoom call wasn't the best fit for our congregation. Zoom is a teleconferencing app, and it works great for small groups of people. It's really cumbersome when it comes to large groups of people, especially if you're trying to manage distractions. Seeing other people's screens, hearing other people's what their microphones are picking up, that can be a real distraction to being able to engage with the worship that's happening. So being able to have a little bit more control over the broadcast that's going out is helpful. And you may be worried about that. And so maybe that's why you went with Facebook Live. We had both of those going simultaneously, Facebook and Zoom. And the feedback we got is that the Facebook broadcast was much more accessible and much more engaging for people who found it that way. So my only issue with Facebook Live is it's easy to share. It's easy to view later because Facebook will automatically save it. But when you go to the link, you got to scroll quite a ways down your page to go see it. And so it might be hard to find later, or it might be hard to find if you're just logging on and trying to catch up. There's also YouTube Live. My problem with YouTube Live is I was scrambling last week to put things together, and when I hit the go live to try to test it out and see if this would be a good option for me, YouTube has a policy that as soon as you click that button, you're on a 24-hour wait before you'll be able to live stream or even test it out, and that might just not work for you. It didn't work for me. But it's got some phenomenal tools, and that's another great platform if you want to use that. I'm not going to give you instructions on it because I've decided to go with a different service that you might not have heard of. It's called Twitch, and twitch.tv is the website you go to, and it looks like this, and you may have no idea what any of this means because Twitch is basically YouTube for people who play video games, and they like to play them online so that other people can experience the game with them and comment and have some discussion about it. What's really great about Twitch is you don't have to have an account to view a stream. You can go full screen on your device, your laptop, but you can also, if you have Google Home or Chromecast, you can cast it from your device to your TV to make it bigger. Twitch will also interface with a software program I'm going to show you right now called OBS. This is OBS that you're looking at right here. Let me go to just the desktop. So ignore the infinity tunnel because it's just showing the browser and the browser and the browser and the browser. OBS works on scenes, and each scene has a source that makes up that scene. Okay, so this one I've labeled desktop, and that scene has the source display capture. That's capturing my desktop display, not my front-facing camera, just my desktop display. I can have another scene that's desktop with logo that will add our little logo to that. Yes, you can do this just like your favorite professional TV channels will add their little logo or their little bug in the bottom. You could do that if you wanted to. I've also got one configured that has desktop with pop-in so you can see me. Okay. So that's what that does. So you create a scene and then you add a source. Let me show you for a moment how that works. I hit the plus button and I'll hit video capture device. That is my webcam. Display capture is my desktop. Video capture device is my webcam. So I will add that in. I've already identified it, so I'll do that. And here I am. And I have this little red box around that window, and I can resize that, and I can move that around to be anywhere I want. So when I did the pop-in one, I decided to space these out a little bit and have some distance and put me in the bottom corner. But if I don't want that, I can always change my mind later and remove it. Okay. You can also manage your audio mix. So if your microphone is a little too hot, you can turn it down. Mine is peaking into the yellow, which is right about where we want it. If it was peaking into the red, I would want to turn this down. If I thought that this was too loud, I could bump this down, and now I'm not nearly as loud. Okay, so that's how that works. We've got scene transitions, so fade. We'll fade that logo in. I could make that fade longer. See that? Yeah, but 300 is just about right. I could also make it cut immediately. Tink, 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 right? Okay, let me put that back. All right. But there's a couple things you got to do before you get to this point. So here we go. I'm going to show you how. I've got instructions right here that are going to be attached to this video somehow that you can follow along with. I can't show you this part because I have to have it running to be able to show you. Let me do this. I have to have the program running to be able to show you. I would love to uninstall it and then reinstall it and walk you through that whole install process. So for now, just know that there's this link, obsproject.com/download, where you can go and you select your operating system, Windows, Mac, and Linux, whichever one is your fit. I'm a Mac person, so I did the Mac one. And you can install it. And then I've got detailed instructions. This is everything that I did personally when I set mine up. Honestly, you just run the auto configuration wizard and then you do what I just showed you a minute ago with the scenes and sources, and you're rolling. So then the next part is you have to have a Twitch channel to send that video feed to. So I've got our Twitch channel right here that you can see. It's got a static URL. This does not change, so I can leave the same code up on our website. Let me show you that real quick. Your website interface might look a little different, but I've got mine set up. I don't want to have to change this at all. So on a week-to-week basis, the only thing that I will have to change is the link to the PDF that we're using. Super basic. As few things to remember as possible is best. Okay, even as we're learning new stuff, we're trying to do it the easiest way we can. So in order to do all this, you're going to need a Twitch account. And that part I can walk you through. So you come to twitch.tv and you see all this stuff and it looks all crazy. Go ahead and hit sign up. And I've got another email account that I'm going to use for this. My username, let's say Tom Test. Oh, that's already taken. 1987. That's already taken. Let's just keep adding things. Must only contain alphanumeric characters. See, helps if you read directions. Okay, this one's available. Let's add in some random letters. There we go. Oh, it can only be up to 25 characters. I'm doing random letters just because this is a throwaway account. I'm never going to use this again. I'm just doing this to show you. I'm going to input a password. I use LastPass to manage my passwords, so it'll automatically generate those. Yeah, I'll add that. Let's add in a birthday. That's not my actual birthday. That's just the one that I'm putting in. Okay. And we're going to sign up. And we've got to do our little verification thing to prove that we're not a robot. And I'm going to get a little email. It says all in the directions. Sign up. It will email a 6-digit email verification. See, I told you. Go to my inbox. There's our verification. The code is 224914. 224914. 4. We are now verified. And we're in. Okay. So it's going to make you choose some interests. Remember what I said. This is a service that was designed for video gamers. It does not matter what you pick. Fortnite, sure. If you're into D&D, go ahead and add Dungeons and Dragons. If you're into the shoe department, whatever that is, there's your 3 interests. That's all you need. You're in. It's never going to matter again. Okay, so let's go over to the channel that we just created. All right, let's make some space. Let's collapse that and let's collapse that. We don't have a feed going to this yet. So what we have to do to get that is we have to come in here to create a dashboard. I've got all this in the instructions. 3 interests. See, I warned you. Select 3 interests. It doesn't matter what you pick. And then go and select Creator Dashboard. Okay, it's all in here. I'm ready to roll, whatever that means. I'm going to go over here into Stream Manager. Okay. See, I told you, go to Stream Manager. It's all in here. And then we're going to go to the upper left 3 bars and select Preferences and then Channel. So upper left 3 bars, Preferences, Channel. Primary stream key. This is all we're looking for right here. I'm going to copy that. And that is what's going to let OBS broadcast to this channel. So right now this is a black screen. Once I put in that stream key that I just copied, it'll receive my live video feed. Now, like I just said, I can't do anything with OBS while I am recording this. So I can't show you that, but I can show you where I put it in. Once I've copied that stream key, I come in over here, go to Settings, Stream. You're going to select Service, Twitch, Server, Auto, and then Stream Key. You're going to paste it in right there. Again, I can't do that right now because I'm actively recording with this software, but that's how you find it. Okay. Come back over here. Once you've done that all correctly, I did this morning, you will see your video live on your channel. Okay, and that's it. See, I have all this in here in the instructions. If you need a little bit more info on getting started, I have their Quick Start wiki linked in here. This is pretty much the same information that I put in my document. I just did it in bullet points. This is a great place to start. I showed you that, showed you that, showed you that. I showed you this. Here's what I'm going to do right now. I am going to show you what this looks like once you embed it. I think that's probably going to be enough for you. So you can get the embed code in here. I'm forgetting exactly where that is right now. I'll come back to that in a moment. But once you get it, come in here, wherever it is on your site, and you'll select source, you'll paste it in, right? I'm going to cancel. I'm going to come back out here because I've already done that. I'm going to make this visible now. And when I do that, you'll see it pop up on our webpage with our live stream. And here we are. So you can make it full screen. You can cast it if you want to. The lag on this is going to make this start going crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off again. Okay, now I made the fatal error of telling you about something and not showing you where to find it and not knowing exactly where to find it myself because I forgot to put that in my own notes. So I'm going to make you sit here with me and we're going to Google this. How to embed Twitch feed. That's not helpful because that autofilled Twitter. Twitch stream. Okay, we've got some things in here. What I'm looking for is just a little how-to. Full Twitch experience. No, it wasn't embed. Yeah. All right, we're gonna load some help here. So, it'd be great if we could actually get information here, huh? Let's just go exploring. Let's go back to Creator Dashboard. You know, you're not supposed to touch your face right now, they say. And it's funny how much more you want to touch your face, the more people say that. Come into channel. Is it in here? By the way, you can change the theme color on your channel. I rather like that. We have a special purple that we use for our church, so I was able to add that in. Okay, this doesn't have the embed code. Where is it? Is it in the stream manager? Edit stream info. It is not in there. Let's go back to Twitch. And I'm sorry I'm making you guys sit through this. Settings. No. Connections, channels, and videos. Oh, we're back in here. See, some of the, it's a real small circle of links on Twitch. There's not many places to go, which is why it's astonishing that I haven't quite found this yet. So it's got to be just on here, right? Oh, share. Well, that was easy. It's always in the last place you look, right? So embed channel. You copy that, and that is what you paste in for your website. You may have to adjust the size on that, so I'll show you that real quick. Source. Again, your editor may look differently than mine. Because of the space that my video has to fit in, it had it to be smaller than it is by default. So this is where I'm pasting that, right? Height 378, width 620. And I had to change that on mine to be height 200 and width 340 for it to fit correctly on my web page. So that may be a setting that you have to adjust. If that's something you have to do, there's tools for that. You can get a little device, a little add-on for your browser called Page Ruler that will let you take the measurements of that space. Okay, so you can do that and see, it'll show you, and you can solve it. And if you have problems with that, you can ask me. I've been doing this kind of stuff for a long time, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. I know not everybody is, and that's why I'm making this video, to hopefully help. And hopefully this isn't too confusing, because this has already gone on for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. We're going to close this video down. Let me know by contacting me if you have any problems with any of this. Oh, this was the other thing. The meeting invitations for Zoom. Why does it have to be a brick of text like this? This is another reason why Zoom can be hard if you're trying to get more people on, is it's really confusing when you get this kind of an invite and then it's a different number and a different link every single week. My argument for Twitch is this. Oh, I closed my window. But see, here's what I'm going to do. Twitch.tv/St. Augustine Rockland. See, that's all I had to remember. It's the same one every time. All right, this has gone on long enough. I'm going to sign off. Let me know if you have questions, if you have problems with it. There's all kinds of ways that you can use this, including playing music. It's not the easiest thing to include music, but there's ways around it. And we're just going to get creative, and we're going to get comfortable trying new things in this time of isolation and distance. And we're going to have grace for each other. And we are going to cultivate peace in our hearts, knowing that it is the peace of Christ that fills us. So take care. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Make good choices. And always know that you are loved and remembered. And stay connected out there. This will all be over someday soon. All right. Take it easy.